And we're back to please your earholes with another translation video. Here we use older articles, but you can find even more Sakurai columns translated by our awesome team at sourcegaming.info. I'm your narrator, the Mango Viking, and let's see what insider knowledge we'll unearth today. In this Famitsu article, titled My Thoughts on Nintendo Switch, Sakurai gives his thoughts on the Nintendo Switch. Who would have guessed? This takes place the same day it was revealed. Now, onto the article. I'm writing this manuscript on the eve of the day of the Nintendo Switch presentation. The release date and price of the system were revealed. I'd like to list off 3 of my personal opinions and reactions in order of impact. It's coming out so soon. March 3rd. The release date was much earlier than I had anticipated. There have been a lot of video game consoles, but I'm not sure if there has been any whose release date was so close to its formal reveal. It's cheap. I think that this price, when you consider that the Switch has a capacitive LCD touchscreen and comes with a dock, adapter, various cables, and more, is very reasonable. The controllers have a lot of transmitters and receivers, which makes them expensive, but the Switch comes with 2. Region-free. The Switch is not region-locked, meaning that it can play foreign games with no restrictions. As someone who likes to play a lot of games from other regions, I'm very pleased. Of course, it's a general policy, so there may be extreme cases where restrictions are put in place. People tend to think of me as someone who solely works for or with Nintendo, but I actually didn't know of this information until I saw the presentation. Can I really play Breath of the Wild on March 3rd? It almost doesn't feel real. There were some other features that were revealed. One was that Nintendo's online services will now need to be paid for. It's a free trial until the fall, and from that point onwards, online multiplayer will require a fee. Basically, it'll function similar to PS Plus. The price and other details have not been revealed yet. Until now, Nintendo generally allowed players to play online for free. However, that requires a cost. Specifically, when a console has a lot of games with a long life cycle, you realize that offering free online services simply doesn't make sense financially. You may find it hard to accept or understand that a service that was once free for you now costs money, but as a player, it will eventually make sense for you. There's a lot of free games to play out there, and sometimes that's considered the standard. The Switch will probably get some free games as well, and there will probably be somewhere where you can play them without paying for an online service, but that's a separate topic. Getting people to understand the benefits of paid online will take a long time. Drifting away slightly from the topic of reveals from the presentation, as someone who is both close and far to Nintendo, this is my biggest expectation and hope for the Switch: the consolidation of all of Nintendo's releases onto one platform. Since the days of the Game Boy, Nintendo has needed to separate their development teams across 2 platforms, a handheld division and a home console division. Second and third parties also have to choose between one and the other, or both. The differences in architecture between handheld and home console architectures has been so different. Making the same game on both platforms has been impossible. I think on Nintendo's side, the only game that's really succeeded in that regard has been Smash for Wii U and 3DS. In the past, when Nintendo approached the release of new hardware, they might have even had teams working on 3 or more different platforms at once. Before, directors, departments, and studios might have been working on different platforms, but now the Switch can unify all of that development power. On a simple level, we can expect a big increase in Nintendo's development power. Because of the complexity, depth, and content expected of modern games, there may be some trade-offs to this approach. But I think being able to increase your development capacity in this day and age is something worth celebrating. Because in the end, software is what decides success and failure, not the hardware details. Thanks for watching, or listening. If you want more translations, reviews, and other content, subscribe, or consider donating to get exclusive perks. To hear more of Sakurai's opinions and other things, remember to return to the source.